Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Baylock. I'm the president of the Art League of New Britain, and I am fortunate to know many wonderful artists through that association, and one of them is Edith Skiba LaMonica, who we're here with today in her studio, and she's going to show us around and show her work. Hi, Edith.
Hi, Paul.
Okay, let's take a look. So these are some paintings you're doing regarding the watersheds and your fascination with water.
Yes, I moved to Connecticut about 15 years ago, and I've always been a city, half country girl, but I love nature very much, and that is really the inspiration for my work.
Oh, nice.
So in this area, we have many woods, wetlands, ponds, and it's just a wonderful overall experience of nature in the completely raw state, a natural state where you can observe what happens from day to day.
Oh, great. Can you get, they're oil paintings, aren't they?
My paintings are in oil. I prefer to paint in oils.
Right, and the blue one is, you said that's one of your first ones of the series? The one on the
Yes.
Yes.
The
And
blue, the painting on the bottom basically is one of the early of the series because it simply describes the water in a woodland pond. And I like to work on the reflecting lights and the debris, the overgrowth, the reflections. So this is really a simple statement that talks about exactly the things I just mentioned.
And you actually have a watershed right outside your window here, don't you? You want to show us that?
Yes, I live on the pond, on a wetland with a pond, and this keeps my mind inspired, occupied, and a place that I can just think in poetic terms, in art terms, and
That's beautiful.
Experience the effects of nature.
Nice, and almost like you're like Monet's Giverny, but you said something about Monet that I found interesting regarding the fact that his is all staged, whereas yours is not.
Well, I have just sort of studied Monet for some reason for many years, and I have painted water lilies, trying to learn his style. It's like studying from a master. And then one day after I moved here, I looked out and I saw that I had my own pond, my own, that I didn't have to rely on sort of Monet. And the Monet's garden was very, planned and groomed and well kept.
Right.
And what I'm interested in is really the naturalness of nature, so that my paintings are very expressionist in the terms of I'm trying to express what I feel about what I see when I take my walks and meditate, and then
you take photographs, don't you?
I take many photographs. The reason I photographed is because I want to, everything is so fleeting. Everything is so spontaneous, completely. Everything's so spontaneous, changes all the time, completely. And really, my mission is to express the fleetingness and the differences that occur without our control, without our interference, so to speak, in the naturalized areas. And what I'm really trying to capture is the feeling of what's happening rather than picture exactly what's happening like a photo.
Beautiful. The picture viewers would love to see a close-up of one of those. Maybe the one on the lower left-hand side.
The idea for the series really is to capture all the different light, the daylight, the morning light, the different weather patterns, and then the seasons. So on the lower one that we're talking about, this I call twilight, and it is twilight in the sense that it can be either in sunrise or sunset, and it is completely the reflections in the water. And you can see that the orange and warm colors and the golds are the early rising or setting
Mhm.
sun reflected, and all of the dark areas are, because the sun is behind the trees,
Yep.
these are all the reflections of the trees and growth around the pond.
Very nice. Very nice. So this is only part of your repertoire. Could we see some of your the rest of your studio?
If you'd like to, sure.
Sure.
This actually, this painting you're looking at now is actually, I believe, the very first pond painting I did many years ago. And you'll
Mhm.
see that it's the leaves. It's
Mm.
the ray clamps down. And that's what I tried to capture.
Really works well. Very, very effective. I love that. Love the warm tones, the contrast there. The balance is wonderful. Very nice. And this is your work area to your left here?
Now, to my left is actually where I paint. And when you see
Nice.
the easels, that is primary, that's where I hang out all the
Very,
time.
very
And
nice.
so I've learned to, I really like to do pairs or work in a little bit of a series or pairs or
Hmm.
triptychs. So that's why I have two easels set up next to each other. And you see the paintings that are sitting on the easels are also interpretations of water and things, the growth in water. And again, I'm thinking about the seasons in terms of spring and summer and a cool day or a warm day, capturing these in the images.
Awesome. And what have you got to the left there? Can you,
Going,
oh, that's your palette there?
yeah, this is my
Your
palette,
paints? Wonderful.
which, looks like,
You're so
well,
organized. That's
you know,
terrific.
everyone tells me that I am so organized and that, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Good for you. And your work shows it too. Terrific.
It is what it is. Yes.
Keep
Uh,
painting there. Could you move to
sure.
the left? I want to see what's over here.
Okay.
Oh, good.
So I have more easels
A
and
lot.
more another painting zone actually.
Awesome.
So I have this wonderful easel that I found in it was secondhand in a barn.
Hmm.
And every time I use it, because this is the really large old-fashioned easel, I always think of, I wonder who painted before me
Hmm.
on this easel, and I'm hoping that I'm getting some inspiration
Awesome. That's a great thought. Terrific.
that
Oh,
way.
good. And what else you got there?
So I have, sometimes I paint smaller paintings of the
Okay.
wetland or ponds, and you
Hmm.
can see that there's a blue pond with growth.
Hmm.
And I also, if you may have noticed by now, I love texture.
Nice. Oh,
So
you do. Yes. Yes.
this one
Can you-
was really all about that texture, because I also admire the other impressionist and post-impressionist artists like Bonnard
Mhm.
and Vuillard. And so, it all kind of comes through in some way or other. This
Yeah.
is actually a very recent piece.
Mhm.
And it took me, it just took me to somewhere I thought I haven't been before.
Well, very
And
nice.
so I've got a second one going, as I said, that I enjoy painting, you know, getting a few going with that kind of thought.
Can you get a little closer to the one on the little one? I'd like to see a little close-up of the surface on the little one.
On this one, sure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, okay. There we go. And these are oil paintings. Boy,
All oil paintings, right?
very nice. Good. And you
I've
got some on
painted
the,
in. Go ahead.
and you keep some on the wall next to you, to the right.
To the right. Well,
A bunch on
you
the
know,
wall.
they have to go somewhere, find room in the studio.
Yeah. So do you ever
So,
pull those off and rework them?
actually, these are all pretty new.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You've been productive. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
You know, I just keep going, and I really enjoy painting
Mhm.
all subjects.
Yeah, you sure
I,
do.
you know, as long as there's the paint and the brush and
Mm-hmm.
something to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think that painting other subjects, and it's a challenge. It's always a
Sure.
challenge.
Wow.
So this is
Beautiful.
another pond sort of, takeoff, but this is like wildflowers.
Mm-hmm. What I
And
enjoy about
also,
all, if I can interrupt, what I enjoy about all of these are the abstract quality of them. They just work so well. I must say, I'm um, really impressed with them. Very nice. Well, that
I'm going to,
wasn't.
I'm just going to go quickly this way because
Oh, take your
there's
time.
another,
Okay.
we have, this is pond painting, the one up on top there.
Mm-hmm.
Many people have related that very much to the Monet.
Yeah, sure. I
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
the connection. Yes.
yeah.
And you've done some figurative paintings as well.
Yes, I will paint a portrait of, someone who interests me or someone who is interested in
Mm,
having their portrait done. So these are actually my daughter. That's
excellent. Yeah,
and the other is a very good friend of mine.
that's terrific. Oh, you
So,
beautiful.
and this painting is actually the pond when I moved here 15 years ago.
Really?
Outside, yes, that's
Wow.
exactly everything. The trees were small, and it was snow. I moved in December, so we
Uh-huh.
got started off very well. And
Excellent. Oh my gosh. And so it's probably a big change now with the growth and nature's, just, I'm sure. Those-
it's a big change, and that's
Yeah,
all part of, you
yeah.
know, my that's all part really. The changes is what the work is about. As you
Mm-hmm.
can see, these two are fall
Mm-hmm.
paintings of,
Wow.
and the top one would be falling, leaves. I was thinking of in autumn, all the falling leaves.
Close up, please. That's a habit of mine. Every time I go to a gallery, I look at it with my nose pressed against the painting and then I step back. Oh boy. Oh
Well,
boy.
yeah,
Very nice.
I confess that, I enjoy getting up close myself because when you're in the throes of doing the painting, you're not really aware of all of those
Right.
strokes,
Right. Right. You're on a different wavelength for sure.
That's right. And then later on, you enjoy it very
Right.
much. You say, well,
Yeah.
you know, so here we go around, and then as I said, I do the seasons, and that would be a spring. What does it make you
Oh.
feel like spring?
Oh, sure does. Sure does. I would have, very
A windy spring day.
exactly. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
These,
Edith. This was nice. I'm going to let you go and you can do some. Oh, you still have a few more right there. I'm sorry. Turn to the right.
I just thought it would be the one that I have on now is Queen Anne's lace that grows out there.
I just love the way it fills the canvas, the screen. It's really good. Really, really awesome.
Again, it comes through like that.
All right. So let's take a shot of the artist before we leave. You want to turn your camera around?
I did it.
Edith, terrific. This was fun. Thank you so much for participating.
Well, as you can tell, I was a little nervous but
Oh,
I really enjoyed it.
you're
And,
good. You're a contender for an Oscar.
thank
Okay.
you so much.
Okay, everybody. Edith, Skiba, LaMonica, we're going to say goodbye to her, and she's going to go start painting right now. Okay, bye-bye, Edith.
Bye-bye.